So typically it's after about 3 years you start to pick a little fruit.
Yeah.
It can be sooner, but only
3 years minimum.
Yeah.
The first year you cut them off down here, and then the next year you try to get the arms out, and then the third year you try to get what you're doing. And in this vineyard here, I would say that we got in the third year 1/3 of what it can yield when it's up and running. In the following year, you probably get 2/3. And then when it's 6 years old, you start to get up to flying altitude.
Okay, so this one looks like it's encompassing just about everything we've talked about. So you would, on this one, would you take that one off totally, or just leave that?
I think I'd leave that because it's kind of in a position here where we want to have. I don't like the fact that it's coming from down here, but that's all we've got to deal with. So I think I would cut this here, and then I would cut this one here. This one we're going to hope pushes out. We're going to hope that pushes.
Yeah, you would think of the same thing I was, right? You take one cut and it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, so this one I think I would leave. I would do this.
He
this
makes
is going to push out. If this comes up, that's going to be okay, because this one is going to go down. And I think I might leave this one, maybe just one bud here, because it's in a good position. So if next year we might, if this pushes out this way, we might actually take it out here and make one more spur here. So this would actually be an extension of the cordon. This would be a permanent spur position.
So, but during the year you're going to get 2 spurs coming up here?
Well, I cut this one to 1, so it's going to push out here. So here we're going to get one coming up, and probably this one coming out. Next year we'll make a decision whether we keep that one or that one.
It looks like maybe you need to clean that up during the year or something.
This one I'd clean up now. I mean, hopefully this is going to push. I kind of doubt it because it looks pretty dry. Yeah, this side's dry. That might push out though.
David, can I just point out that your team has done about 2 vines in an hour, and Ruben's team has done 5
Yeah, but those are really nice pots.
Okay.
Pictures of both pruning. That means everybody start pruning.
Well, David can point maybe to where the points are. Maybe you could snip.
So, okay, this is a nice position here. So I would cut this one right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh.
Did that hurt?
That was good.
Speaking of hurting, this is probably either silly or stupid, but do you or your folks find themselves talking to the vines as you're pruning? Do you have some sort of a personal relationship?
No, but we do
Are you bilingual?
We do encourage them to sing though. Yeah. Actually, during harvest, some of these guys sing, and it's really kind of fun to be around. It's pretty entertaining.
They were singing during the pre-pruning.
Were they?
Oh, cool.
I take it this comes off because it's scrawny?
It's pretty scrawny. I would cut that one down
off
low.
of your head.
Yeah.
So how much of this is an art and how much of this is a science?
I'll leave that up to you.
Yeah, well, it seems to me very intuitive, a lot of this, where you have to kind of get the feel after a number of years of practice of what works and what doesn't.
I would cut, yep.
How long do the folks that are doing the pruning here need to be in training to do what they do? Or isn't it?
Some of them catch on right away. You know, these guys they come here from Mexico. They've usually had farming experience in Mexico. There might be some nuances. You know, we watch them until we really are comfortable with them, and then we let them go. They know more about it really than I do. Exactly. Yeah. Yes. And this one I think I'd cut here because I think we're going to get both of these down here. That's pretty close. And then here I think I would cut. It's going to be harder to cut, but I'd cut this back in here.
You would you?
Yeah. Right there. Yeah.
So are they ready to...
No.
There you go.
There are pruners that compensate for this level of strength.
Yes.
There you go.
So we've got to finish up. We got to finish up here.
Okay.
I think I would keep this one.
Okay,
and
so
get rid of.
right here,
Yes.
straight.
Yep.
Take that.
Yep.
Then you're going to take this guy out.
Yeah, but let's cut it if you can. Try to cut it in here a little closer.
I'm curious why because this one is so much stronger.
Just because I like the orientation of this one.
Okay.
It's pointed up as opposed to out.
All right.
Good job.
Go join the crew.
And then,
Okay.
I've come to join you.
and then back here.
There you go.
Then come through.
I'm just really impressed with the definitive nature of the cuts.
I had to have a picture that's just
some of
like
them will
my cousin
actually
has a vineyard,
grab
and
as
she
they
said,
cut,
they're never going
and
to
then
turn
they'll
you
just bring
loose
it
on their
back.
vine.
This will get mowed again as we go through the season, so it'll get chopped up.
By sheep or by?
By machine. I mean, I don't know if we'll put the sheep in here anymore. Sheep, once there's foliage on the vines, the sheep are, yeah, so.
Do you have any experience with Barbados versus woolly sheep? Oh, yeah.
Do you? I don't.
I have some Barbados, and I don't know whether I want them near my not that we've even planted yet. Never mind, down the line.
Yeah.
This has got to go, eh?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Like that. Am I right?
Yep. I'm not even allowed to.
And then I would, yep, right there, right where your thumb is. Right.
Great.
Great.
There you go.
Now,
Wow,
if
this
you
one
don't-
is finished. How about that?
If you don't have a problem with people, if you're not hiring anybody, therefore they're not going to sue you for having a slanted cut. Is the slanted cut better? I mean, is that or
I don't know.
you've been doing straight cuts and nothing's bad happening.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, this is late in the season too. You know, these vines are going to start pushing soon. So there's the risk of infection there is much smaller. If you prune early in the season, there's a disease called Eutypa. It's sometimes referred to as dead arm, and it's a bacterium that spreads these. Not a bacterium, it's a fungus. But there are spores that are released with rainfall, and those spores can land on a fresh cut and actually go into the wood, and it will actually kill this back and eventually move back into the vine over a period of years. But it will actually kill it. And so we try to, that's another thing about pruning generally, is we try to wait until a lot of those spores, after a bunch of rain, a lot of those spores have been released, so they're no longer violent. But, you know, you have to start pruning or you'll never finish. So this year, even with all the lack of rainfall, we got to the point where we had to get going. Another reason to consider this pre-pruning, because even if the spore was to land on this, it's not going to, you know, move into the vine and do any damage in the period of time.
Sounds very smart.
Okay, here's a weird question. Suppose I wanted to prune for leaf.
What do you mean?
If I had a grape arbor and I really wanted to cover more than I wanted to.
Well, I think.
Just do it wrong.
No, I think you know. So you're looking for shade, basically, right? So I think I would just try to prune to something that's maybe the size of a pencil. You know, if the vine grows up and it's really tiny on the top, you don't want to leave that just because it's where you want it today. You want to cut it back so that, again, you're building the vine from the ground up. So
The vines are like that.
Oh, well then.
But they don't. They go halfway over. Never gets the other way. Anyway, so I want to.
Well, it's hard to take them up and then bring them back down. Because they're going to, remember, they try to grow up and they try to grow out. So as soon as you push it down, it invigorates that growing point. Remember how we talked about on this one here? This is going to be coming out at an angle that's down. It's going to try to come up because it wants to go up, but it's going to have less vigor because of its orientation.
I'm just focused on getting some leaves out so I can catch up this season.
Trying to make it
but I'm not.